What's up, ladies and gents? Ow! Ow! I just hit myself in the freaking head. Everyone else, Slappy here with ETM 540 Clubhouse, coming to you from the shop, our place of happiness, the location of amazement and fun, and a whole lot of freaking work. A lot of stuff. Bringing you something different this week. This week, we are going to take something that's been sitting here in the shop that I've been wanting to do something with. And today, we are going to become furniture makers, engineers, builders of things made for furniture. I don't know. We're going to take a motorcycle dealership sign and we are going to build a coffee table. That's right. Let me explain. So my day job work is by one of our local dealerships. I was walking to the mailbox one day and saw that a dealership sign was on the sidewalk. Lo and behold, they were cleaning out a warehouse. A homeless person walked off with it, probably to scrap, and it was probably too heavy for them to continue taking. So I picked it up. I called the dealership and I said, hey, I have half your sign. Do you guys want it back or is this something I can keep? And they immediately said, you can have it and come get the other half. So I did. So with that, we actually got a dealership sign for something that isn't so popular, but there is kind of a cult following. But that's why I figured, hey, screw it. We're not going to put it on the wall. We're going to make something fun. So this is what we got. Oh, that's right. So if you don't know what slingshots are, I'm going to put a picture right there. So this is from our local Central Coast Yamaha dealership. And like I said, half of it was on the street. The other half I got from them with permission. And we're going to make a cool coffee table out of stuff that we had just laying around. This part right here is actually part of the sign itself. I think it went on the bottom, so that way you didn't see up through the top. And we are going to put those back in, so that way there's a little bit of storage. These posts we got from a free bunk bed, and we've managed to actually use pretty much the entire bunk bed for a lot of different other stuff. So those are going to be kind of like our corner pieces to hold up that top, which was actually in our boys' dad's storage unit when we cleared that out. And the boys' dad's thing is a whole nother story. That's for another time. We haven't even gotten into that, but for those of you who know, you know. The boys are our boys, but they're not our boys. It doesn't matter. Anyways, we got some casters that I probably grabbed from somewhere. I can't remember where. That was with the sign. I'm not sure what that goes to, but I do want to try and incorporate it somehow. And then these pieces I actually had Harry cut out for me because the logo for this company was missing. Someone took the logo. And so we cut out a new logo so we can complete it and yeah, make it all good to go. The only thing I don't have right now is I don't have a piece of plywood that I want to glue to the bottom so we have a mounting point. So for now, I'll probably just rest it on top so that way, you know, we just see how it kind of looks and then go from there. So yeah, my goal is to basically cut it down, keep all the original lettering and all that good stuff and make it work. So yeah. We got this cleared off because we got all our motorcycles all ready and maintenanced and ready to go for a trip that we are taking this coming up weekend. Yeah, don't mind the 2001 CR 250. That's right. I'll be riding that son of a biscuit. So we have this whole workspace that we're going to go off of. So to start, I'm going to bring the sign over, put it down on these two pieces of metal so it's nice and sturdy. And then we will measure out the width that we need it for that tabletop and do some freaking measuring, cutting, and get going. So let's stop talking and freaking build some furniture. Yeah. Oh my God, I forgot how heavy these are. Oh. Sweet. All right, so the plan here is to take these two and bolt them together, which is really cool that they actually have holes already drilled into them. And then from there, we can put our top on, do the measurements we need to see where we need to cut. And then from there, we can readjust where all of our letters and all that good stuff are. So yeah, it's pretty rad. I love that these are already drilled. Obviously that one's a little bit freaking bent, but once we bolt them together, it'll flatten out. So I'm okay with it. So let's do that. All right, let's start with the bent section. Dropping my nuts. I'm just kidding, it was my bolt. The nuts part just sounded funnier. I'm so immature. Yeah! No complaints here. Okay. Well, with those in, we don't have to worry so much about a lot of stuff being in line, but I am worried about that little bow in there. So I think what we'll do is we will take the bottom pieces and put them in there to just kind of keep everything true as we build out everything else. So let's do that, and then we will move on to the next step, which is measuring out the top with the bottom to see where we're at as far as width goes. There we go. Jesus! That took way longer than needed. But we'll learn our lesson on this one, huh? No, we won't. Immediately did it the wrong way. Yep, I'm glad we test fit. Whew. Yeah, I'm glad we did that. All right. Okay, so now that will help keep it as true as possible. So that way, if there is any movement anywhere, then it won't go any wider or smaller than those that are inside there. So now we'll just lay on our top and see where we need to be as far as the length goes. Because width, I think we're gonna be good. And then we'll measure it out and go from there. So yeah, why does all this stuff have to be heavy? I did enough heavy stuff already. All right, let's try it. Oh my God. Oh. I feel for the person who has to move this. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to move this. Just saying. So far, not bad. Here we go. Now, before we get too crazy on judging my design skills, this is actually going to be raised up a little bit more with those poles. And no, I'm not doing the full lengths, but that would be kind of cool actually, as like a little bar table type thing. Oh God, nope, not doing it. Next project. So anyways, so we are going to mark that, straighten it, cut each end off, and then we will start figuring out how we're gonna box in this side. And after that, we can move on to seeing about mounting those poles at the proper length, and getting it raised up for the top. And then we'll go from there. So let's get this marked off and start doing some cutting. Well, it turns out the Sawzall worked out a lot better than the grinder because it cut through that like freaking fire. But now I'm at a point where I'm kind of at a stalemate because I need to do the middle, but I also need to bolt down the insides so that way I can make sure that they're all nice and good to go. Or maybe I'm just coming up with excuses. Maybe I just need to freaking do it. Yeah, I think that's what I need to do. I need to just freaking do it. So anyways, I'm going to try and cut this end off. And then I think after that, we're going to cut it for today. Come back tomorrow nice and fresh and keep rocking in a free world. That's so stupid. I don't even like Tom Petty. Gosh dang it. All right, let's finish this. Well, that's a good spot to end it for the day. Getting everything cut out was a pretty tedious task. Tedious task. I can't freaking talk for some reason right now. Anyways, probably from all the... So getting all that cut out makes me feel a lot better. Stoked to have the inside portions all nice and cut. So we just need to cut that front, bolt it together, probably do some tacks. You know, we'll figure it out, but we're going to come back to all that. So, oh yeah, and if you're wondering if I clean my shop and tools up after every single time I do anything, the answer is yes. Yes, I do. So if you or a loved one has a problem with OCD and needs someone to talk to, don't call me. I got problems. Yeah, it wouldn't help at all. So it's just how I've always been, but whatever. So we're going to call it good for the day and move on to spending some time with the fam bam. Yeah, I freaking scratched the paint on my car moving some of that stuff. I'm super bummed, but you know, it'll buff out. Can't wait to get to that thing. So we'll bring you guys back when we get on with the rest of it. It's gonna be sick. I'm freaking pumped. It's heavier than piss though, but all right, that's for another day. We gotta go. Yeah. Well, hello there. All right, we're gonna get back to this sucker, and I figured today I got a little bit of time, so I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take that time that I do have to put a side on this because it's gonna take a little tack weld, a little shaping, a little here and there, but we do have all of this, which we cut off yesterday. And I want to just go right about here and kind of give it some style with all that like rivet looking stuff on it. And yeah, see how it works. So let's freaking time lapse this and get to it. Yeah. Well, I totally didn't get that last cut because I didn't press the record button. So here's what I cut off from that. So it was here, and now it's not. Okay, so I'm going to put the sign back up, and then we can kind of hold it in place somehow and tack weld it? Yeah, something like that. Let's freaking just do it. Come on. And just like that, she's got a back, front, side, you know what I mean. So she actually gave me a little fight. I had to do some readjusting with tools that you normally wouldn't adjust stuff like that with. But hey, we make it work. And I actually had to trim some of the pieces just to make them fit a little bit better. And I'll still even have to do more, but it's fine. It is what it is. Right now, it's just tacked in. I want to just leave it that way in case there's any other minor adjustments we need to do. But I think we're going to have to do a two-parter on this just because we got a trip coming up and I got a lot to do with that. So I want to give myself proper time to get situated in that case. So I think we're going to do probably one more thing on this, either tomorrow or Wednesday, and then we'll have to finish it when we come back. But I'm excited because it's really seriously coming together exactly how this weird brain imagined. But yeah, I got stuff to do. I got some J-Rags I got to get out to some of you guys that I promised over 2 weeks ago. So I'm sorry, I did not forget about you. For those of you who participated in the giveaways, I got them coming in the mail. I just haven't been to the post office yet. So there is someone in the comments who still hasn't claimed their last week's. So make sure you send me your info so I can send it out to you. And then, yeah. All right, I'm out of here. All right. I don't like you doing that. So let's get back to this freaking pig. I'm accepting the fact that we're not going to finish this in one episode. If I try to, it's not going to look the exact way that I want it to as far as finished product goes. And I want to give you guys the best. I mean, it's going to be a cool little project. So I figure for right now, with as much as we've already got done, we'll throw the wheels on it. We'll call it good. We'll do a part 2, and then we'll finish it off in that one. Because I wanted to add a little something to that, the old top that we want to do, that'll make it a little more custom, if you will. So, yeah, let's put some wheels on and call it good. So for the wheels, we're just going to be doing these pretty industrial standard casters. They're actually pretty heavy duty, which is good because There's a lot of weight on the freaking thing. So we'll just set these up to the corners and mark our holes, drill those out, and then we're just going to do 3 bolts because if we just hit the corners really well and then bolt them together with bolts and nuts, I think we'll be fine. So let's prop that thing up and get to it. All right, there it is. She's on wheels. That was the goal for this. I mean, I honestly really wanted to finish, but, you know. But the goal now was for wheels. And she rolls smooth, like exceptionally smooth. That's pretty rad. So like I said, I don't want to just rush through it. I have plans on how things are going to go together. I want to kind of waller out some of these where the bolt heads are and whatnot, just because they don't fit super good. So I want them to be nice and tight. And yeah, I've got a nice little idea for the top. So I'm going to do that. And I love it. I think we're going to start building more stuff kind of like this. Well, we already do, but I mean, I'd like to do more stuff like this on the channel. But yeah, I got to go get ready for our trip this weekend. We are headed out to a place for a few days that we've been wanting to do for a while. And we are going to be taking some motorcycles and whatnot out with us. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for that, because I will be making a video for that one as well. And there will be plenty of highlights of all of our shenanigans and mayhem. And I'm actually going to be meeting some of you out there. You know who you are. So can't wait to see you guys. I'm going to head out. Thanks for all the new subscribers, all the people joining in on the freaking giveaways. That's been awesome. I honestly don't have one this week because I didn't really use a rag. So so I'll just send one out in general, or just a little care package thing. Like I'll just do like a little something. I'll send something out to the person who gets the number closest to 1 in 100 for this week. And I'll write it down somewhere. So anyways, thank you all so much for joining us. We love you so much. We'll freaking see you in the next episode. Stop it! And I know
Me too.